Hey everyone, welcome back to Cinema, Mind, and Brain. I'm Eric. This is where we discuss principles behind movies in order to unlock our minds and save the world. Please be sure to stick around until the end of the episode for the superhero thought of the day. Let's jump into it. So today we are going to be discussing the movie Murder on the Orient Express and what is justice? So, qualifier, in case you haven't seen the film, spoilers ahead. I'm gonna spoil everything. We're gonna go through the movie from beginning to end, as well as how it's resolved and how the movie could have been resolved in a different way. So just in case you haven't seen the film, here's some background and context. The movie takes place in the past, the 18 or 1900s, and the film is centered on the character
Hercule Poirot, and I'm probably the greatest detective in the world.
There's also a variety of other characters that are involved in the film. They are the other passengers on the train that is going from Paris to Turkey. And so the inciting conflict on the train is that one of the passengers goes by the name of Ratchet. He's acted by Johnny Depp. His character gets murdered on the train, and it's a mystery. And Hercule is going to find out who murdered Ratchet. I thought that the film introduced a really interesting concept through it, specifically through the character Hercule.
The scales of justice.
We get the sense that Hercule is really a man who wants balance. He uses the word justice. So for today's episode, we're going to define the word justice. If you're familiar with the term karma, I think that those words are interchangeable if you want to use karma or justice, but just know that when I use the word justice, you could insert karma, and I mean the same thing. We are going to define justice as everything will be equaled out. So when we're talking about justice, we're talking about value for value. So if someone takes something from you, let's say they take $20 from you, justice says that you are owed $20. So there are different ways that justice can be equaled out, and I'll use my example again. Let's say someone takes $20 from me. Justice says I'm owed $20. So that could be equaled out by the person who took $20. They have something taken away from them that is equal to $20. So that could be equaled out through a punishment. It seems like situations and circumstances outside of anyone's control happen in the other person's life. That other person might experience their plans or their purposes being frustrated or things going wrong in their life that they can't explain that are outside their control. Another way that justice can be equaled out would be if someone took $20 from me, then I could expect that some value equal to $20 is going to be brought to me without even me trying. There's going to be some benefit or reward added to my life that will equal that loss of value that I experienced. I could experience benefits and rewards coming to me, like my life, things in my life seem to be going easier. Life is on my side. That's what the feeling could be like, is like, man, really things are really going my way. We can see that justice is constantly trying to be restored, trying to be back into perfect balance. Okay, now for the ending of the film. Hercule eventually discovers that the killer wasn't a single killer, but rather that all of the passengers on the train were involved with the plot and the murder of Ratchet. And so what we discover is all the characters are connected to a family, and this is the Armstrong family. So we learn through the movie that the character Ratchet had kidnapped a daughter of the Armstrong family. He held her for ransom and then made the Armstrong family pay him the ransom money, and still the girl died. So let's break this down according to justice. The character Ratchet kidnaps the daughter of the Armstrong family. Who's on the wrong side of justice? Ratchet is. He initiated this by taking something of great value to the Armstrong family. Now, him making them pay ransom money for her, is that giving a value back to the Armstrong family, or is that not giving a value back at all? The absence of detriment is not the same as a value. And I think this is something that gets confused a lot. So in this situation, even when the Armstrong family pay him money and they get their daughter back, they're still owed all the ransom money. They're owed that value. They're also owed the value of the trauma and the negative experience and the pain of having their daughter abducted. So even if Ratchet were to return the daughter, he never gave them a value. He only took. So Ratchet is on the wrong side of justice. He owes the Armstrong family a great deal. And in this situation, in this case, they paid him ransom money. He didn't hold up his end of the deal. They paid him the ransom money, and he never even returned their daughter to them. Now, Hercule knows that all of the passengers are connected to the Armstrong family. They all experienced pain due to Ratchet. They all had a reason for wanting to kill him. So everyone in the train, there was 12 people involved. In this case, they exacted the justice of life for life. So I want to qualify and say that I'm not saying that what Ratchet did was okay, and I'm not saying that the Armstrong people are bad people or wrong people for feeling the way that they felt. That is horrible, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But there are some things to discuss as far as how the Armstrong family handled this situation. Was their response the right thing? Did they handle it the right way? Did killing Ratchet bring their daughter back? This act of murder against Ratchet did not restore the life of their daughter. It did not bring back to them what was lost. So this did not actually help them get further ahead. I would actually argue that the way that the Armstrong family handled it got them further behind. For example, consider how much time, how much effort, how much energy did they spend making this plan and executing this plan to get back at Ratchet. They successfully killed Ratchet, and even the detective wasn't going to press charges against them. He was going to cover it up, and he wasn't going to exact a punishment on them. So technically they got even as far as their daughter for Ratchet. But consider how much time and energy and value was invested and poured into this that did not bring their daughter back. And also, if you look at the end of the film, if you see the end of the film, do these people seem like they're at peace? Did this bring peace or resolution to their lives? Did this bring healing to their lives? One of the characters actually attempts to kill herself with Hercule's gun. And that's after they got even, or they got back at Ratchet. These people still had pain and suffering, and they still felt lost. So is there something that they could have done to handle this situation that would begin their healing process and actually help them move on? And I believe there is. So this is where I will introduce another concept or another word for this episode. And that word is forgiveness. We will define forgiveness as the statement of your will that you will not equal out justice even if you had the chance. I think forgiveness is really misunderstood. I think a lot of people believe that they are supposed to forget about the injustice, and they are supposed to not feel bad about the injustice. And for the purposes of this channel, I will say forgiveness does not include forgetting the event. It does not include feeling good or not feeling bad about the event. The response of forgiveness can be done while still remembering and while still feeling upset and in pain. So forgiveness Again, notice, I will not equal out justice even if I had the opportunity. Justice recognizes that I am still owed for what was taken from me, and justice, allowing to do its work, will find a way to restore balance to the situation, either through a punishment to Ratchet in terms of lost value, maybe his health, maybe his life, whatever that is, the value equal to the injustice he did against the Armstrongs. This could also be equaled out by a benefit or major blessing and restoration brought to the Armstrong family. It won't restore the life of the daughter of the Armstrongs, but I believe that it would begin the healing process for the Armstrongs. If they had forgiven Ratchet, they would have been able to still have all the time and effort and energy that they used on trying to get even, to start healing, to start grieving their loss, and to really to let go of the burden. It's a burden to bear to try to get even, to try to equal justice out. When we know that karma or justice take effect all on its own, it's not something that a person should have to bear that burden of trying to do that. And forgiveness would have allowed them to maintain their own sense of morality, their own sense of being good people, and that integrity. That would have allowed them to still respond to the situation while continuing to be right and continuing to be on the good side of justice. So for the superhero thought of the day, how do you respond to injustices that happen to you? What is your process for forgiveness? What do you need to do to be able to state that I will not equal out justice even if I had the opportunity? I will let justice take care of it. I have found this information helpful in my own life. It has helped me to release injustices and allow justice to sort itself out. It has brought me a lot of healing from my own past traumas or situations that have happened to me. If you found the information in this video helpful, please give the video a like for the YouTube algorithm. I want this video to help as many people as possible. Please consider subscribing if you want to see more episodes like this in the future. And drop a comment on the video down below. What did you think? And are there any movies that you would like to see reviewed on this channel? I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.